So, continuing on the series of accessing the unconscious through image and stories, this is exercise number 2. Now, in this exercise, I'm going to invite you to have a look at the images I'm going to show you. Have a pen and paper to the ready, just enough to squiggle on. I tend to use post-it notes myself. And look at the images, let them wash over you, and notice, is there anyone that particularly stands out to you, that particularly strikes you, that might draw you in or repel you? So whichever image, look for the image, first of all, that most strikes you. So I'm going to run through these images now quite quickly for you. And just let them strike you. And we'll come to a summary of the images at the end, so just let them strike you. Let them wash over you. Just let them wash over you. Just notice what particularly strikes you, or what you find a bit off-putting. Any one of these that particularly draws you in. Okay, and now I'm going to go back up to the summary. Back up to the summary of images. So there you go. So that will remind you of the images that you've just seen there. And for you to think about which one of those has struck you. Note that down to yourself. And if you had to give it a title, for example, what would that title be? So what I might say, for example, is that the image that struck me when I was doing this exercise to myself fairly recently was that top image there of the 4 tails. And I thought to myself, if I was to give that image a title, or to tell a little story around that image. So if you've got your image in front of you, think about what would a title be, or a small little short story. And the title that sort of came to my mind were those 4 tails, and the question was, which of those 4 tails am I going to pull and tease today? Which of those 4 tails am I going to pull and tease today? So that just came out of nowhere for me. But I was interested to reflect on it subsequently. So if you can just think about what's your title, or even a little short story around it, 3 or 4 sentences around your image. And so for my image, just to sort of continue that, I realised when I thought about the 4 tails being pulled and teased, was that I was one of 4 siblings, and there was a lot of teasing that went on when I was a child, and some quite cruel teasing actually that happened, so that actually that just came up for me. So something that, if you like, came out of my early years, it came out of my unconscious. So that was a mixed memory, because sometimes there was great laughter, but sometimes it bordered on the cruel side, so it wasn't so funny. So there you have a little bit of the unconscious, if you like, which can also be a bit of a mixed bag. So just thinking about which image has struck you, and trying not to judge that too much. Oh, I should have had something more positive. Oh, making some kind of judgment. Trying to stay uncensored about it, and just to stay gently and compassionately observing of yourself in that. You don't need to share this with anyone at all, so don't need to worry. But just being open really to what strikes you and what struck you about that. What came up for you?